So I'm trying something new with the camera here. I'm working on, this is solder. I'm working on this. This is a KLM Multi-2700. Just about all the caps in this are testing out of tolerance real bad. And all these little blue caps, little purple and blue caps, they're the originals. I'm replacing them with these little brown Nichicon caps and these little Panasonic black caps. And I have a few of the Ching-X Chinese caps in there, but we're taking all, this is what I've done so far, if you can see that. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 little electrolytics that have went bad in this. So instead of unsoldering all of the wires on the board and taking the board out, I'm flipping the board over, and this is when I soldered one side of the leg. Got to thinking, hey, I can film this, throw it up on YouTube, kind of give you an idea of what's going on. But see, I'm sitting, you can't see my face, but I'm right in here. This light's there for me to see. This soldering iron's a little bit large, but it's okay. You don't want to sit on it too long. Put a little bit of solder on it. I bend them outwards like that so they'll stay in place. When I get done with them, then I come in here with the snips and I save the leads. I throw the leads in my little lead pot. And I use the leads for jumpers or whatever. I was watching, I think I was watching Mr. Carlson's lab and saw that, and I thought, you know, that's a pretty neat idea, saving the leads. So I'm working my way down through here. I'll probably take this one out next. It looks like a 4.7 microfarad at 16 volts, which I'm upvolting all of these. They're just keeping the volts up a little bit so I don't have to worry about it. But I don't know if you can see. I'll try and keep it where you can see. But I walk these out. So I pick the top lead when it cools off. And I hit the next lead and I walk it the other way. And what you can't see is on the other side of the board, I'm wiggling it back and forth as I'm doing that with my thumb. You could take them out with some solder wick or something like that. Right now it's loose. Let's see. Now the cap's loose. Always make a note of which way the negative is. In this case, the negative is facing that way. And that is a 4.7 microfarad at 25 volts. And I'm putting in 4.7 microfarads at 50 volts. Panasonic caps, which are supposed to be fairly good. On this board, everything's noted positive on the capacitors. They show where the positives go. On the other boards, they're not always that way, but this particular manufacturer did make it so that you could keep track of where your positive and your negative was on the board. And one leg's always longer than the other. That lets you get one side started. Alright, now I got that all the way in. Make sure I got the negative and positive in the right place. Bend the tabs out a little bit. Flip it over like that. I'm listening to Pandora. If the music changes to something funky or some ad, that's what that is. You don't want to have a solder bridge there. Alright, so we're good there. It's not as easy to solder when you're trying to show something, but you can see all the spots I've heated it up. All the old gray solder on here from being tarnished. See, now we have a brand new capacitor in that spot. I've replaced everything from here up. I had a lot of these green, I guess those are polymer caps. They were split, and so I replaced a bunch of them. This radio has issues. I'm going to pause this and make some tea. I'll be right back. That's a 1 microfarad right here. 1 microfarad. And you get used to looking over there and going, okay, well, it's these two contacts, these two pins. You'll hit in there and you'll go, move that one. Alright, so see, it's loose now. Push back through the holes because the thing's loose, so I'm go in here and get in here and pull it. Alright, and note that the negative stripe was that way, which on the board, I don't know if you're going to see this, but on the board C14, the negative's right there, and there's a little positive mark right here. See if I can get more light on that. I don't know, but anyway, it's got a positive spot. It's 1 microfarad cap, and I have these Nichicon 1 microfarad caps. This I got all this variety of caps, the Panasonics and the Nichicons from this guy right here on eBay, and he seems to have good quality caps. These seem good. They got good solid leads on them, and I'll probably do more business with him. He's seemed like a real nice guy. I haven't talked to him in person, but the communicated well through the messaging, and shipping was quick, which is important. So we'll come in here, and I got a smaller tip for this, but I actually like, that's a number 6 tip that I made for this Unger element, and I like it because it holds heat real well. So it's a good medium type of element. It's not super big, it's not really tiny. I like a smaller element for this kind of stuff though. A smaller tip, not element, smaller tip. Now here's a 4.7 microfarad we're going to take out. Same thing. Gonna hit it right there. I don't know how much you can see. I got one leg still hanging, but the other one's free, so I'm gonna just snag that with the pliers and take that contact. And the negative was down on that one. Some of these, if you pop them out, you can see where the electrolyte's been leaking out of them. That one's not too bad. And that is a 4.7 microfarad. These are 4.7 microfarad Panasonics. And the holes were cleared out on that one. Gotta watch myself. I put one in backwards a minute ago. I had to take it out and move it around. Bend them out. Same thing over and over again. Make sure these contacts aren't touching. Now you can take some solder wick or a solder sucker and suck these contacts off, and you'll probably get a cleaner job and it'll look prettier. But I'm going through a 1970, let's see, where's the date? 70 1977, January 19th, 1977 radio. And this is my radio that I bought, and I'm going to work on it because I now have it working. It wasn't working to begin with. I replaced all the caps in this board here, this board here, this board here, in the that's the CB, and in this final section here, this is the final here, under this plate, I replaced the caps in there. I replaced a couple caps down in here that had exploded. I replaced the caps on the on this board, which is your adjust board for your mic gain and everything, sideband gain. One of the sideband pots was out, so I put a 2K resistor, 2.2K resistor in, which was a 10K pot. So it's kind of like on the upper end of the audio, so it does good on sideband. This is the audio amp board, and I'm in the process of replacing all the caps on it. If I can get them all replaced, it just keeps coming up. It gets better and better. I started out with it worked intermittently and was off frequency, and now I'm to the point where last week it was putting out 5 watts. Now this week it's putting out 6 or 7 watts, and got good audio quality. So it's just a process. I'm gonna pause this, and I may come back here in just a minute. I don't know if you can see this, but there are no little blue caps on this whole board. Everything is Nichicon, Panasonic, or the Chingex Chinese caps. Here are the caps that I replaced. I have 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22, 23 caps I just took off this board and replaced. And this is the audio board. The ceramic caps look okay. The resistors look good, except for one resistor which I replaced. The little polymer caps look okay. I'm going to put this back in here. There is a board down in here that I have to get to and replace, but I'm doing this one board at a time. I'll replace everything on a board and then test it and see if it's still working. That way, if I mess something up on one of the boards, I know it's in that board that I messed it up. So I'm going to replace all this, and I'll probably show a video of, I'll put a clip in here of me running it, showing you it running right now. And then later on, I'll maybe do an update video of me getting into this other board down below here, which has got some bigger caps in it. And then I have 2 boards underneath that I have to do, but I have to take the bottom cover up and stand this up on its side to get to those. So I'm going to end this video here, and I may add another clip here in a second.